8-year, $68.5 million contract to join the Lions this winter. And that's before the team hired the other Campbell, Dan Campbell, to be their head coach. And I remember the press conference, Dan Campbell was joking, venturing into Iowa State, because he heard all the Matt Campbell jokes, and maybe there was some substance there. So, my first reaction when I heard this story was, well, now, allegedly, if it's true, I have no idea if it's true or not. Okay? If it's true, reaction number one would be, gee, what a surprise. The Lions offer Matt Campbell a job, and there's a job that he, I think, would be more fit for down the road in Ann Arbor, and nothing out of there. To me, he's the perfect person, if there is a perfect person, to take over at Michigan. The other reaction was, Matt Campbell, where did he grow up? Massillon, Ohio. Who else grew up in Massillon, Ohio? Chris Spielman. Think Chris Spielman had any influence in this story, possibly? Yeah, maybe, though. He didn't have as much influence as you think, because he didn't get the job. He turned it down. So maybe Matt Campbell and Chris Spielman aren't hobos. Seriously, though, 8 years? And Rod Wood was asked about this, at the press conference, whether they had interest in Matt Campbell. He would, rightfully so, wouldn't say anything.
Yeah.
But man, if this is true, you can't offer this guy $8 million, 8 years to coach an NFL team where he's never coached in the NFL. Conversely, although 8 years is a lot, if I was Michigan, I would have done it in a second.
Well, that just assumes that they were looking elsewhere.
Right.
And they already had a coach. They already had, the guy that they want to keep running the program.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I think that's a mistake. That guy there.
Yes. But when you have, in my opinion, this is something that I'm not going to call anybody out on, because there's no way to confirm or deny the report. That why even come out with this now? It's such a late time.
Oh, because maybe you just found out about it.
Okay, but then again, who did you find this out from? How is this? I mean, again, how do we know that there's any merit to this report? Had it been, and so you're wondering why it would be 8 years, $69 million. And Carolina just gave Matt Rule last year to lure him away from college a 7-year contract worth, I think it was 62, 63,
It
something
wasn't
like
even the
that.
money, it was just the 8 years.
Right, it was 8 years. And
You're right.
we saw that Detroit, they knew, and Sheila Fordham knew that they were going to have to go through an entire rebuild and to acquire a coach. And that was the question we had about Dan Campbell. And it was 6 years.
Right.
That you're going to have to give that coach some security, because it is such a rebuild. This coming year, while we all have different ideas and different thoughts on where this team is going to be, we all realize it's not where we want it to be.
I don't believe this. I just don't. I don't understand the timing.
I don't either. But
That's why I use the word allegedly.
right, I don't understand the timing. And again, this is coming from a source, and there's no way to confirm or deny it.
But correct me-
Just throw it against the wall and see if it sticks.
Correct me if I'm wrong, the guy who reported it, Dennis Dodd, is pretty highly respected in college football, is he not?
But he didn't like fully stand by it.
No, I know.
In the wording that he used. I just don't understand. What's the motivation of this coming out right now?
Because it's the off season. Everybody just wants something to talk about. They want something to stick.
Yes, absolutely. And, it's a lot of money, $68.5 million. Then again, $2,000 is a lot of money, too.
It's the Stoney and Jansen 2 Grand Slam. Your chance to win $2,000 in 60 seconds.
Was it the pet line? And that's the only thing that happened recently.
That's true.
You can buy a pet line maybe for $2,000.
I don't know, maybe for some reason this just came out. I don't know, his agent happened to be talking to Dennis Dudley, and being a good reporter, he'll never reveal his source. Anyway, our telephone number is 248-539-9797. It is your chance, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to win $2,000. The way this works, we asked you 10 questions within a 60-second span. You get them all right, you win $2,000. You will get $25 for each correct response. We will not, I repeat, we will not tell you if you got it right or wrong. If you don't know, we suggest you pass to make better use of your time. Right? That cover all the bases?
I think so.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, all we need is a contestant, and look at, we have one. And he's from Holland, Michigan. Ladies and gentlemen, let's say good morning to Jim. How are you, Jim?
Great, how are you?
Doing wonderful. Have you played the 2 Grand Slam before?
Yes, about 3 years ago.
And how'd you do?
I got 5 out of 10.
You got 5 out of 10. This one is, I think it's kind of tough.
I agree.
So we will set the bar with your 5.
Okay.
We'll set
All right, sounds
That's
good.
fair.
I did it, and you know, a lot of times you try to figure out the time. I got 7.
See, I was at 6. So this one's tough.
All right, yeah, this one's tough. So, Jim, good luck to you. We will begin the clock when I start the first question. Got it? All right, Jim, good luck. Here we go. He is the general manager of the Detroit Pistons.
Troy Weaver.
Who led the NBA in points per game this past regular season? She played Jane Foster in the Thor movies. Who wears number 56 for the Tigers?
Spencer Turnbull.
Who is the Vice President of the United States?
Kamala Harris.
Where did Jason Tatum play in college? He played Batman in Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice.
Adam West.
Who led the NHL in points this past regular season?
Sidney Crosby.
Who is the head coach of the LA Lakers? Denzel Washington played this character in American Gangster. There you go. You got 3.
Oh,
That's
$75.
pretty tough.
Yeah.
That was very hard. Jim, thank you for listening. Thank you for playing. And $75 is certainly better than what you had before you called.
Yeah.
So, congratulations.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby. We appreciate that. All right, here we go. Here's what Jim missed. Steph Curry led the NBA in points per game this past season. Natalie Portman played Jane Foster in the Thor movies. I've never watched any of the whole Thor movies.
I
Thor's
haven't
obviously
either.
a character in
Good
Avengers.
movies.
Yeah.
Thor Ragnarok, very good.
Jason Tatum played his college basketball at Duke. Ben Affleck played Batman in Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. Connor McDavid led the NHL in points this past regular season. Frank Vogel is the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. We ran out of time, but we got the question, so we'll give you the answer. Denzel Washington played Frank Lucas in American Gangsters. Jim from Holland on $75.
That's a good morning. It's a good commute.
No doubt. All right. Our telephone number 248-539-9797. That's the click and text as well. Your comments are welcome on this Matt Campbell story. Do you believe it? And if you're a fan of the Lions, or as I said, the University of Michigan, should you have gone after Matt Campbell and brought him to this area? Also, there's a coach of the Detroit Lions on the staff who has a kinship with a certain member of this radio station. And we'll explain and hear from him coming up next, 97 Wimbledon.
We had an awesome game last night. Lakers and Warriors and LeBron with the dagger. There's never been a better time to find out why BetMGM is the king of sports books. Right now, new customers have a chance to win $100 in free bets when they place a $1 wager on any golfer to win the PGA tournament. If any golfer makes a birdie during the tournament, you'll win $100 regardless of your bet's outcome. I don't think it gets easier than that. Just use bonus code TOMM100 when you make your first bet to take advantage of this offer. Get ready to turn 1 under par into $100. Sign up now and discover BetMGM's boosted odds specials, daily promotions, and much more. Download the app or go to BetMGM.com and use bonus code TOMM100 to win $100 in free bets if any golfer makes a birdie in the PGA tournament. It's always showtime at BetMGM. New customer offer, paid and free bets. Must be 21 years or older in Michigan only. Gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4 for only $229 per month for 24 months with just $3,526 due at signing. That's right, a powerful Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4 for just $229 per month. Now that's epic. Tax, title, and license extra. Don't miss out. Visit your Metro Detroit Ram dealer today. But hurry, these offers end June 1st. See dealer for details. Call 1-877-RAM-5722 for Ram lease details. Requires dealer contribution. Lease through Chrysler Capital. Extra charge for miles under 10,000 per year. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 6/1/2021.
With 24/7 customer service and guaranteed repairs, your Progressive policy works the way it's supposed to. Unlike this stressful meditation guide.
Take a deep breath. Focus on all the things you have to do. Did someone make the vet appointment yet? You don't know. That feels like something you should know.
Switch to Progressive today.
You are a mess.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates. Repairs through Progressive Network insurance guaranteed for as long as you release your car.
Microban 24 protects against Staphylococcus aureus and Enterobacter aerogenes bacteria, but does not provide 24-hour protection against viruses. Every time you touch a surface, you leave behind bacteria. Use Microban 24 sanitizing spray to keep surfaces sanitized all day. Spray on hard surfaces to kill 99.9% of bacteria and viruses initially, including the virus that causes COVID-19. Microban 24 keeps killing bacteria for 24 hours, touch after touch. When used as directed, Microban 24, touch after touch, it doesn't give up.
This hour of Instant Feedback brought to you by Mike Capurro of National Benefit Plans. For affordable life insurance, call 877-734-2200.
Better bets, bet smarter, and beat the books today. Download the BetQL app today to better your chances. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Stoney and Jansen.
97.1 the ticket, 248-539-9797. Tigers win last night 6-2. That's a 3-game sweep of the Mariners. And they won 8 out of 10. School pitched pretty well. It was 5 innings, 4 hits. Just the one 2-run homer in the first, 9 strikeouts. The rest of the bullpen. Norris, Cisnero, Fulmer, and Soto just gave up 1 hit. Each had an inning, so that's good to see. They play at Kansas City beginning on Friday. Harold Castro is starting to come around. You thought Willie Castro would be the one, but it's Harold right now. He was 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs. Corey Kluber with a no-hitter. That's right, yes. One day after Spencer Turnbull gets his, Kluber gets a no-hitter for the Yankees as they beat the Texas Rangers 2-0. That's 6 no-hitters already this season. NBA play-ins. Memphis beat San Antonio 100-96. So they will take on the loser of the Lakers-Golden State game, which was Golden State. The Lakers win 103-100. LeBron with a big 3 with a 100 tie as the shot clock expired. It was a 34-footer. So the Lakers are now the 7th seed. Golden State, like I said, will take on Memphis for the 8th seed. NHL, Caps, and Bruins. They just play overtimes. They went to double overtime last night. Boston wins 3-2. They lead the series 2-1. And I know Doug mentioned we should be cheering for Boston because the earlier Washington gets out, the better draft pick the Red Wings get in the Mantha trade. Carolina shuts out Nashville 3-0. They lead that series 2-0. Colorado over the Blues 6-3. Nathan McKinnon with a hat trick. The Avs lead that series 2-0. And game 1 of Winnipeg, Edmonton, the Jets win 4-1. Lots of stuff going on in sports last night. Now, we're talking about Matt Campbell allegedly, according to CBSSports.com, turning down an 8-year, $69 million contract to coach the Lions. They got their Campbell, but evidently, if you believe this, and we're saying it's allegations, we're trying to figure out why it came out now. Believe it, the Lions got their Campbell, but they didn't get the Campbell
they wanted.
Yeah, that's right. And I think that he'd be a good fit for Michigan. Now, let me ask you a question. Assuming, and it's an assumption, let's say hypothetically, Michigan does not have a great season, and they make a coaching change. Is Matt Campbell somebody you think they should look at seriously based upon what he's done at Toledo and Iowa State and the fact that he is from the Midwest?
I think there's a lot of teams in the Midwest and made it successful, but to a level that where they hadn't won a championship. They hadn't won the big game, and that's what was really holding him back, was they just weren't able to get over the hump. Now, if you take, and I think everybody is taking the results of last year, whether it's success or failure, with a grain of salt, because some teams just weathered the storm a little bit better than others. And that he is a guy that is up and coming. He's got great energy. And when you look at some of the things that come out of the locker room, or some of the things that the players post and videos that come out, he's got great energy, which is exactly what you need for recruiting in this era.
More of a college coach than an NFL coach, you think, his personality?
I believe so.
We got some ticket texts. Hey guys, I'm hearing Tupac and Biggie were hanging out at Sandy's in Redford. I can't confirm it, but that's what someone told me. Apparently reporters can all just say anything they want with no facts. Ridiculous. I
agree.
I mean, I borderline question whether we even should have brought this up. That's how much credibility I think's behind this. The smell test is not there. How does this not come out when the search is happening with a name like this? Are you kidding? And John's theory, people like to talk.
studio, here's Tony and Jensen.
All right, 97.1, the tickets. Mark Brunell, besides stalling about John Jansen, did have some interesting other comments. He compared the Detroit Lions to one of the teams he played for, not the Redskins that you played for, but the 1996 Jacksonville Jaguars. It was 1996. They were an expansion team that won 4 games in 95, and then they reached the AFC Championship game in their second season and came an offensive clunker away from playing in the Super Bowl. That's according to Dave Burkett's column using the word clunker. I'm quoting Brunell now. Very few people gave us a chance to do anything. Going to 96, the expectations were really low, so all we had heard was maybe get to 500, maybe win 5 or 6. A lot of inexperience, a lot of lack of talent, and this and that. We actually started out that season, and in the first 11 games, we were 4-7. Then we turned it around. So my point in saying all this, that we were a team that people didn't give us much of a chance to do anything, kind of sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Sounds very familiar. And probably how we believe that this season is going to start. If they get to 4-7, you know, I mean, I'd have to go back to our list and see what we actually had them at. I think it's fairly close.
Yeah, I had them finishing 5-12.
Right, I think I had them at 8 and 9. Does that make 17 games?
Yes.
The math is really good.
I know. He also said, my point is it can happen, and the message inside the building is forget about what you've been hearing or what people are saying. You have to believe that you can, and certainly it's going to be a group that is going to believe that we can do some good things early, and regardless of what's being said out there, the Detroit Lions. He also talked about Jared Goff, you know, and what people were saying about Jared Goff. He says, I believe our quarterback has that it factor, which is exciting. I'm basically talking about the chip on his shoulder because people were saying, you know, he's no good. Quote, in our conversations, he can't wait to get here. He can't wait to work. He's already spent some time with his teammates just really laying the groundwork for the season, and the season he believes, we all believe that we can be very special. And it really starts with him. He has that passion, and that's one of the reasons why I'm so excited to coach him. So that's, you know, talk is cheap, but that's good talk if you believe. Right?
Well, yeah, and if it kind of puts a spotlight on, obviously, the quarterback position, and the fact that not only are they talking, everybody's talking about the Lions and the struggles that they're going to have this year, 4 wins, 5 wins, whoever you want to listen to, but the chip on the shoulder of Jared Goff, and the amount of times that we have said here, and nationally you've heard, the wide receiving group is not up to par.
Right.
And Tyrell Williams, you only have to hear this so many times, whether it's him, Rashad Perryman, Quintez Cephas, you know, Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's a new draft pick, and he's feeling a little slighted that he didn't get, you know, picked until the 4th round. You have that chip on your shoulder. You have something to go out and prove. Doesn't mean that it turns you into an all-pro or a Pro Bowl player, but it gives you great motivation to play it at a high level and maybe get more out of yourself, especially if you're on a 1-year deal.
Right.
You're on a contract year, and if you want to earn year 2, then go out and earn it. That's a great position that the Lions are in right now. It's not great for the players,
no,
but it's great that they have the opportunity to go out and earn it.
248-539-9797. I know it's a little early to talk NFL playoffs, but you propose an interesting question. Pick 3 teams that made the playoffs last year that won't make it this year, and come up with 3 teams that didn't make it last year that will make it this year.
Yeah, it's and I'm looking at, you know, the AFC I think is a little bit more solidified top to bottom. Those teams, whether you're talking about, you know, the Kansas City Chiefs, you know, and you know, the Titans, you could make an argument there, Pittsburgh, whatever. I think they're more solidified in where they are, and it's going to be a lot of the continued same teams.
Well, it's funny because on my list of 3 of each, I have 2 AFC teams in both lists.
Really?
Yes.
See, I've got 3 NFC teams on teams that were in that I think will be out. And then obviously, if they're out, there's 3 teams that were out, they're going to be in.
Right. Now, obviously, when it comes to the NFC, the Aaron Rodgers conundrum has has to be thought of, but my list is based on him coming back.
Okay, mine actually is based on him not being.
Okay, well, so obviously, so here are my 3 teams that made the playoffs last year that won't make it this year. Okay, you ready? Here we go. The Pittsburgh Steelers. I know Bush is back being healthy.
Yep.
I'm not convinced that Roethlisberger is going to have any type of a season, and I don't like their backups. So I'm going to go with Pittsburgh. I'm also going to go with Indianapolis because I don't believe so much in Carson Wentz. I couldn't decide between, Indianapolis and, Tennessee coming out of that division, so I chose Indianapolis. And my third team, and this is because of they lose a quarterback, and that's the New Orleans Saints will not make the playoffs.
Okay, so we have one team in common. You want to give me your 3 that are in now?
The 3 that are in that didn't make it last year. Well, if the Saints didn't make it, I think somebody from that division is going to make it besides Tampa. I think the Atlanta Falcons are going to have a turnaround. So there's my NFC one. And my other 2 from the AFC, I think the Miami Dolphins will be in. And I think the LA Chargers are going to be. Bosa's back, healthy for the whole season, hopefully. It wasn't Derwin James hurt for a good portion of the season as well. Herbert, another year under his belt.
Yeah.
Now, the new head coach, who knows about, but those are good. Those are my 3 that didn't make it.
If I was going to go that route, I would probably go Pittsburgh out and the Chargers in as a wild card, and Baltimore obviously wins the division, the AFC North. But my 3 teams that were in last year but out, I have the New Orleans Saints for a lot of the same reasons that you mentioned, the quarterback position, and I have the Chicago Bears not making it, as well as the Green Bay Packers, because I don't believe Aaron Rodgers is there. So that leaves somebody has to win our division.
Yes.
And I put Minnesota into the playoffs.
Stoney's Vikings.
Yeah, Stoney's Vikings get into the playoffs, and then I look around and I say, okay, who else? If I've got 3 teams coming out, Dallas to me is the team that wins the NFC East because you got a healthy Dak Prescott. Defense is going to be better. They go in. Washington still gets a wild card, but the other team I have going in is the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh yeah, how did I forget about that?
And just by being healthy, but
Yeah.
it's and that's when you look at the teams that I think are going to be in and playing against the Detroit Lions. They obviously open up against San Francisco. They play Minnesota twice, and but it's a little bit of a trade-off because if Aaron Rodgers isn't in Green Bay, I think that greatly, Jordan Love is not the guy that's going to lead you to the playoffs.
No.
And so you've got 2 out in Minnesota with Kirk Cousins. They're just with a healthy wide receiving core, and Justin Jefferson and who's the other kid, Thielen. With him being healthy all year, it could be a very explosive offense.
Just super quick, guys. I just was reading something. Aaron Rodgers reportedly played golf and poker with John Elway recently. Do you believe that or the Matt Campbell story?
I believe that it happened, but then again,
they are, because that's the team that's been most mentioned.
Yeah, but you played blackjack with Spud Webb and Rick Neuheisel. So what does that mean, right?
While Charles Barkley and Marcus Allen do karaoke behind me.
Oh,
you can't make that up.
That was see?
And I saw Earth, Wind, and Fire.
That was a great
same night.
That was a great night. All right, Heather has news coming up next.
Yeah, have you guys ever been caught doing something you thought that nobody would ever see? I've got a story about that happened to a man who thought he was doing something